Life hit me like a raging storm, knocking me down to the very bottom. In the whirlpool of pressure, loss, and endless days of hopelessness, I once thought I would never stand up again. It felt like everything had collapsed. My faith, my hope, even my own sense of self. That was when I made the decision to step away from the noisy world, to spend 30 days in solitude, a way to find myself again, amid the ruins, in the deepest darkness of my soul. It all began with a series of blows, one after another. Without warning, the job I had devoted years to suddenly came to an end, leaving me in shock and confusion. All those endless days of sweat, of relentless effort, it felt like they were erased in just a few fleeting moments. Then came another crack. The closest relationship in my life began to break. Misunderstandings, long silences, slowly eroding trust, and tearing away the bond we once had. I was left with a double loss: the stability I had built, and the emotional anchor I had cherished. Loneliness and emptiness quickly seeped into every corner of my soul. Every night became an arena, a battle with myself, as negative thoughts hammered in my head, dragging me deeper into the pit of despair. I tried to seek help, but words of comfort could never quiet the rising tide of pain inside me. In the end, I realized I had to retreat, to step away from the chaos, to find a place quiet enough to face myself. 30 days in solitude wasn't running away. It was a necessary journey to heal, to find the self I had lost. Amid the cruelty of life's storms, I knew only by confronting the loss, only by accepting the darkness within, could I hope to find the light that would truly guide my life again. After deciding to step away from the noise of life, I began my 30-day retreat in a small house, nestled in the quiet countryside. No more city clamor, no more work deadlines, or polite social gatherings. Only silence, wrapping itself around me, seeping into my soul. At first, the loneliness made me restless, uneasy. Those first days, I wrestled with an emptiness so vast, it felt like I had wandered into a boundless space, with no way out. I began to try meditation, to listen to my breath, to calm the chaos in my mind. Those moments of stillness slowly became an anchor, easing the storm of negative thoughts. Alongside that, I spent hours reading books on philosophy and self-growth, hoping to uncover answers to the questions buried deep inside me. Writing in a journal quickly became a daily ritual. I poured onto the page every thought, every ache, and the tiny sparks of hope that began to flicker again. Through each written word, I realized I had neglected so many precious things in life: quiet moments of peace, genuine connections, and above all, the act of valuing myself. This journey was far from easy. There were days when painful memories pulled me under, when loneliness tightened its grip on my heart. But in those darkest moments, I began to see myself more clearly. I realized I didn't need to be perfect, didn't have to chase society's endless standards. While silencing my inner voice, I started to accept my wounds and scars as inseparable parts of life. Day by day, I could feel the change, my spirit growing lighter, peace slowly flowing through my thoughts. The 30-day retreat was not just a time away from the outside world. It was a journey back to myself. The first step onto a new path. The path of awakening. After many days of stillness and facing myself, I began to feel a true awakening within my soul. The tangled thoughts, the long-buried pain, slowly began to arrange themselves. Clearer, more understood. I came to see that life is never perfect, and loss is inevitable. But what matters most is not running away or denying it, but learning to accept it and to live alongside it. The awakening came like a gentle breeze, carrying peace and freedom into my mind. I realized I had placed too much weight on outward success, worried too much about things beyond my control, and in doing so, I had neglected my own true worth. Freedom, I learned, is not the absence of hardship. It's being able to see everything calmly, without being pulled under by negative emotions or invisible pressures. The most important lesson I learned was to listen to my inner self. In the past, I had chased the goals and expectations of others, forgetting that I, too, needed care and love. Now, I make time to be still, to feel the simplest things. Sunlight on my skin, birds singing, the steady rhythm of my breath. These small moments, so easy to overlook, turned out to be a powerful source of energy, helping me find balance again. I also came to see that deep within each of us lies a great inner strength, waiting for the moment we dare to face it and trust ourselves. Loss is not the end. It's the beginning of a new journey, a place to learn, to grow, to change. This awakening brought me hope, lit a new fire in my life, and made me ready to welcome whatever challenges lie ahead. The 30-day retreat not only helped me heal, it awakened a deep part of me I had never understood before. From this point on, I know I will no longer fear loss, because I have found the strength to rise again and keep moving forward. After experiencing a deep awakening during my 30 days in solitude, I began to return to the outside world, carrying with me a completely different state of mind. In the past, whenever I faced pressure or hardship, I would panic, easily crumbling under the weight. But now, I feel a quiet peace within me, an inner strength that keeps me steady, no matter the challenge. Coming back doesn't mean blindly walking the same old path. I know I need to apply the priceless lessons I learned in my time away. I started setting clear boundaries to protect my energy and my mental well-being. I learned to say no to what isn't necessary, reserving my time for the things that truly bring meaning and value. My relationships also began to change. I became more open, more willing to share my true feelings instead of hiding them away. Deep, honest conversations helped me rebuild trust and connection, not only with loved ones, but with friends and colleagues as well. A shift in perspective taught me to cherish life's simplest moments, quiet mornings, laughter over a meal, the warmth of being close to those I care about. Even as I returned to the rhythm of daily life, I kept the positive habits I had formed in solitude: meditation, journaling, and taking time to care for myself. These became my safe harbor, helping me stay balanced amid the constant noise and pressure of the world. Most importantly, I no longer fear loss or failure. I understand that life is always moving, always changing, and that I must be flexible to adapt. With a renewed spirit, I feel freer, stronger than ever, ready to embrace every opportunity and challenge ahead. With trust, with gratitude, and with an unshakable belief in myself. After returning to everyday life, I was no longer the person who once drowned in loss and despair. The 30-day retreat had etched a priceless lesson into me. Life is always moving forward, and each of us must find a way to keep walking, no matter how many thorns lined the path. I continued living, but with an entirely new mindset. Aware, grateful, and deeply responsible for my own well-being. Positive daily habits became the foundation of this new chapter. I kept my morning meditation, spent time journaling to capture my thoughts and feelings, and made space for quiet moments in nature. These seemingly simple practices became my anchor, holding my soul steady in the face of life's inevitable storms. I also learned to let go of unnecessary burdens, overblown expectations, toxic relationships, and pressures I had placed on myself. Instead, I chose to focus on what truly matters, the values that bring me happiness and fulfillment. Life was no longer an endless race to the finish line, but a meaningful journey where I could finally live true to myself. Over time, I came to see each passing day as a chance to renew, to learn, to grow. Loss no longer frightened me. It had become a stepping stone, shaping me into someone stronger and deeper. I began to dream again, to face new challenges, knowing that no matter what obstacles came my way, I could overcome them, nourished by the inner strength I had cultivated in my days of solitude. Life continues, its future still unwritten, but I am no longer lost. I have awakened. I have returned. And now, I live on, fully, meaningfully, and with hope for all the chapters yet to come. Life isn't always lined with roses, and loss is never the final stop. I once felt lost in the storms of my own emotions, certain I would never rise again. But those 30 days in solitude taught me that deep within each of us lies a hidden strength, the strength of acceptance, of perseverance, and of believing in ourselves. If you, too, are going through difficult days, don't be afraid to give yourself time to step back, to be still, and to listen to your inner voice. That journey is not weakness. It is the truest sign of strength. The strength to pause, to heal, and to move forward with a peaceful heart. Life is an endless journey, and every step, no matter how small, no matter how hard, holds meaning. Trust that beyond the darkness, there is always light, and that you can always find yourself again. If you dare to face the truth and love yourself completely, that is the greatest lesson I took from my 30 days in solitude, and I hope it can also be a source of inspiration for you.